welcome back to just another podcast. I'm here with Sydney today. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for letting me come and record you on this podcast.
Thank you for being here.
As someone who has the Pootector as a service, how did you hear about the Pootectors?
Let's see. Actually, I think I discovered Pootector driving around town. I think I saw the truck.
Yeah, that's actually how I saw them. So it's kind of crazy how I think a lot of their advertisement is just them driving around and getting a lot of eyes on their vehicle. And then when you saw the truck, what kind of crossed your mind?
We've always had a lot of dogs, over the years. And I can remember somebody years ago saying they hired a poo service.
Yeah.
And I thought that was... I thought that was really interesting, but so anyway, eventually I broke my leg.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm going to call that company.
Yeah.
Because I you can see my yard.
And so unfortunately, an accident turned into a fun service, would you say?
It turned into a happy accident.
Yeah.
It did. I actually love the service.
Good. How long have you been having this service?
Let's see. I think we've had the service 3 years, maybe going on 4 years, something like that.
And would you recommend the service to other people?
I would completely recommend the service. Yeah. In fact, my daughter just moved to town, and we got the service for her.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a phenomenal service.
Nice. And how often do they usually come by your house?
What I really liked about Pootector, and in speaking with the owner, Michelle, she was very receptive to my needs. She was very flexible about how many times she would come based on, when we might have kids playing in the yard or when we cut the grass.
Like an event for 4th of July or something.
Yes. So we actually have the service twice a week.
Okay.
And she comes right before the weekend, and then right after the weekend.
Yeah.
So it's been wonderful. And my daughter has the service, and I think for her dog, it's just once a week.
Nice. And so, how many dogs do you have?
Well, it rotates in and out, anywhere between 4 and 6 in the yard at a time, and then family bring their dogs over on weekends, and so there can be a lot of activity. And as you can see, it's a fairly large yard, and so when the kids are all playing or swimming or whatever it is, it's nice to have a clean yard.
Yeah, and let them come inside without having any accidents on the carpet.
Exactly.
But yeah, the yard is it's big, it's fenced in, it's like a whole dog park in your backyard. So
Thank you.
I could see why you could use the service, especially with that many dogs. That's a lot.
I think the biggest benefit to our family is, number one, it's not in the yard. Number two, we have large dogs.
Okay.
So we have Great Danes, Pyrenees, things like that.
Oh,
and
wow.
The smell.
Absolutely.
It gets pretty hot, and our yard is full sun. So, the smell.
Absolutely.
And we don't have to, if I'm picking it up, I have to store it in my trash can.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. No, it's something that, I feel like a lot of people don't take in consideration, especially the smell. I didn't even really think about it until you said it. I'm like, I don't smell anything, so I guess that's a good thing.
It's a great thing.
When you have that service, do you have to be home when you do it, or are they able to come by?
No, Pootector has a really nice way of handling the announcements of their visits. Employees coming by, they give you a text to tell you how long before they're going to be there. They let you know when they're going to be there. They let you know when they are leaving, and so it's kind of journaled in your phone, and so that when you get your statement does match up with all the journal text messaging in your phone. So super convenient. And to answer your question, no, you don't have to be home.
And for people who are looking to get the service, they can kind of keep that in mind. Like, okay, I don't have to be here every time they come. They can just schedule the visit, kind of like an outside maintenance kind of thing.
Correct.
Perfect.
And they're very good about making sure that the gate is closed so nobody escapes.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much again for coming on here and telling your insight on this. Is there anything else you want to let the people know?
Do it.
I like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back to Just Another Podcast. I'm joined by today the owner of Pootector, Michelle. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good. How long have you been running Pootector?
I have been running Pootector since about May of 2020.
Wow. And so what kind of made you start this business?
The pandemic.
Really?
It was.
Okay.
I actually worked for a major travel company here in St. Louis, and during the pandemic, travel not so good.
Right.
And I actually got furloughed.
Oh.
And kind of backtracking, January of 2020, my nephew was looking to make some extra money. And I'm like, well, we have dogs. I'm like, come over in my yard, pick up some poop, and I'll, give you some money. He was wanting to build a gaming computer.
Gotcha.
And so fast forward again to May, that thought kind of crept into my brain, and I was like, I wonder. And so I just kind of started doing some research, and it's pretty easy startup, a bucket, a rake, and a vehicle.
Yeah.
I had some website knowledge. I built myself a website, and May of 2020, Pootector was started.
And would you ever imagine this kind of business would grow into what it was? Because it seems like it wasn't a service you were doing, it was a service you were providing.
Right,
And
exactly. I know. When I first started, I probably by the end of 2020, I had maybe 5 customers.
Wow.
And then April, spring, end of winter, spring of 2021, I got like 25 requests in one day.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Wow. And so,
yeah.
sorry to
okay.
jump. One of my first questions is, do you go per dog, per yard? How is it per hour? How do you usually charge?
So
for
the way
people?
I do my charging, it is based on how many dogs you have
Okay.
and how often you want the service.
Gotcha.
1 to 2 dogs in an average size yard
Okay.
once a week is $17.25 per week.
Wow, that's
and
not
then
bad.
it goes up from there, and we offer once a week, twice a week, and then every other week.
Okay.
Or we can even do one-time pickups.
Nice.
So like if you're having like a barbecue or something like that, we can come get your yard cleaned up and have a great party.
And I noticed that actually how I saw you guys were driving around in your vehicle. And so is that kind of how you get the most word of mouth advertisement wise?
I would say that is how it started. Definitely, when I first started, I think it was just our vehicles. But I do a lot of posting on Facebook, just kind of referrals. We've had. I
Yeah.
love when I get referrals because I feel like someone's referring someone to us that we're doing a good job. That
Right.
they're like, hey, you need to hire these people.
Yeah,
So.
I feel like a lot of people don't really know that this service is provided until
Agreed.
until you know about it, and then it's kind of spreads like wildfire.
It does.
So, and so how big is your service area right now? Like, how many yards do you usually average per month?
So we have about 285 clients right now.
Wow.
And our service area is actually pretty large. We're here in Festus. We go out to DeSoto, Hillsborough, and then we go as far as even up into St. Charles, St. Peters, and Wentzville, South County, Arnold.
So really, anywhere,
Kind of anywhere in the
that-
St. Louis
wow.
area, pretty much.
And so, what is it like working for Pootector?
It actually is pretty great. It's very flexible. I tell people this all the time. It is actually, I find it very zen. Like when I get in a yard and I start picking up, a lot of the chatter in the head goes away, and I find it kind of relaxing.
Yeah.
The other thing is getting to know our customers, because we're usually there every week. Some of our customers twice a week. So I've really gotten to know a lot of our customers, and then of course the dogs. I love
Yeah.
meeting all of the dogs, and
Yeah.
them rolling over when they see me, and you get to scratch their little bellies,
Yeah.
and just developing those relationships.
Absolutely. I have 3 dogs myself, so it's actually I'm more so looking forward to the dogs than I am meeting the people or the
Right.
job. So
Right.
I could imagine that be getting fun. You're like, I'm going to go see this dog in the morning and then this dog in the afternoon. So at
Right.
least you have something to look forward to. And then do you put AirPods in and just kind of do your
I
thing?
actually do not put AirPods in because there are some dogs who
Oh.
maybe aren't so happy that we're in their yards.
Makes sense.
So I always like to keep just an ear out, just in case, because it is kind of shocking when they come out and they're like, who's in this yard? And they start barking. And
Have you had any bad experiences, so to speak, with the customer?
I have only had one.
Okay.
I did get bit last year.
Oh, wow.
And but normally it's you just kind of it's more just like, why are you in my yard,
Right.
than being so aggressive that
Right.
they come at you.
Heard that you were looking to expand employment, so you're looking to hire some people.
I am. We are looking to hire. We have busy season that is getting ready to. We'll get a bunch of new clients in the spring, so
Really?
I always try to hire about now. So very flexible schedule. I actually just hired a gentleman. He only wants to work 1 day a week,
Wow.
just to get a little activity. I can definitely, if you want more hours, less hours, 1 day a week, a couple days a week,
Nice.
it's definitely an easy type of schedule.
And then, so do you provide like the company vehicle for them right in, or do
We
they have to have
Yep, we
transportation?
give you have a vehicle, we'll have a phone, and provide all of that for you.
Nice, that's really cool. Let me see here. And then, how can people apply or get in touch with you?
Just give me a call. At our phone number is 636-535-5859, and ask for Michelle, and we'll kind of go from there.
Be the best feedback you've gotten from a customer? I mean, we're sitting in a customer's backyard shooting the podcast, so
We
I do
are.
want to thank them again. That was very nice of them.
It
to
was
let
very
us come
nice
by.
of them. I love Cindy. We've actually become very good friends. I would say, kind of just going off of some of the things she said, if you do have kids, we have people where their dogs do, unfortunately, snack on their poos.
I didn't even think of that.
Yep.
Either. Yeah, yeah.
We have quite a few customers where they're like, come pick up the yard.
That's pretty funny. Again, like the smell, certain things you
Right.
don't even think about until the service is there, and you're like, that's a pro. Certain things you want to see, like, is this money worth going to benefiting my life? And it seems like the customers are very happy and
Yeah.
and like
I actually had a gentleman tell me one time he is made his son start mowing the grass. He's like, but I'm never going to let you go. That is the hill I will die on. You
Nice.
will always be picking up my yard.
nice. I definitely think it's once you do it, you almost don't ever want to go back. When we were talking briefly, you talked about having your own compost. What does that entail, and why is that something you want to do?
So when I first started picking up, it just like kills me that I actually do take the poop with us. We don't leave it at the customer's house. We do, but right now we throw it away. And with the amount of customers I have now, I just see the amount of waste that we're throwing away, and I'm like, there's got to be something better we can do with this than just put it in a landfill. And so I started researching how to compost it. So we bought a property a couple of years ago and kind of have been working towards composting it. And so we just need to get the property cleared, and it is a little bit different than composting like manure from like cows or horses.
How so?
Because dog poop has a higher protein,
Okay.
and they have a little bit more pathogens in their waste.
Gotcha.
So you have to kind of cook it at a higher temperature. The other thing is you cannot actually put it on like gardens, but you can do it in flower beds, around trees, actually in the lawn, actually put it back in, and it does help
Yeah.
your grass grow.
So what would be I was gonna say is a great charge them to clean it and then
Right.
charge them to re-fertilize
Right,
the yard.
right.
That's a great service. Hey, and some yards have the patchy spots from where the dogs go pee, so
Yep.
that could really help. Improvise. You can be like,
Exactly.
hey, we'll fertilize these areas for this much. So
Exactly.
that sounds like a really neat thing. How long do you think it's going to take before you're able to keep that going consistently?
So it does take a while to kind of get it going, because we don't have a lot of waste, and
Right.
you usually need quite a bit of manure to do it. So I'm hoping by at least the spring we can
Nice.
at least start getting the composting process started.
Okay.
But it'll probably take a good year before we can actually
Nice.
use the compost.
And in that year, you need more dog poop, so you need more
Right.
customers. You have a busy season, so in the winter, is it consistent? How would you say?
So actually, our busy season is starting. So
Okay.
usually going into the fall and winter months, we usually pick up people. And then once the snow starts melting and people are starting to get out into their yards, usually then we have a big spike in the spring. But usually over the summer, it does die off.
Okay.
Like I probably haven't had couple new requests versus 25 in the spring.
And in the winter, are you still consistent?
We
would you
pick
say?
up we pretty much were like the postman. The only time we usually do not pick up is if it's below freezing. And
Gotcha.
that's like consistently below freezing.
Right.
or if it has snowed, and then we usually have to wait
To
till
be
the
safe.
snow. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for coming on this podcast.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I was so excited to do this.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you want to let the people know, or another way to contact you on Facebook or social media?
So we do have Facebook. You can contact us through our website, which is www.thepootector.com, or you can give us a call at 636-535-5859.
Perfect. Thank you very much for tuning in. You guys have a good one.
Thank you.